Welcome, welcome, welcome. I greet you with all my heart from the beautiful island of Bali in Indonesia, where I'm residing at this time. We have our monthly Q&A, full moon Q&A for full moon in Aquarius today coming up. So today is in Bali, the 10th of August. Tomorrow is full moon day, celebrated here. And I have the 7 energies oracle deck from Colette Baron-Reid with me. And as we do, we will pull first 3 cards to make a bit of a, energetic statement for what's in the field. And then I will speak about 3 questions that have come up over the last little while in my love coach, quantum love coach practice. So, and you see me shuffling, so this way, I'm absolutely, doing it in this very moment of recording. So the first card represents some sort of the energy we are bringing into the space, into the full moon phase. And it says the storyteller. It's actually a pretty amazing card, which I love very, very much. It's really about communication. It's about speaking the truth. And I think in this very particular phase we experienced last week, having this incredible conjunction of Mars, Uranus, and North Node in Taurus, which is my birth sign, and my birth sun literally conjunct with this great conjunction. So my own life is in a very big transition. And the storyteller card has been really important for me just in the last few readings, because I can sense that it's really about finding my own voice, being very, very clear about what I want to speak to myself, to other people, and in communication with those I love and relate to, but more than anything, what I want to say and message into the world. And I think that's a theme that is so potent for so many of us. And so that's card number 1, the storyteller. Card number 2 is a higher view, and that's the here and now. And I think this full moon gives us an incredible opportunity to be much more elevated in our own perception. I can sense that many of us have gone through enormous letting go and shredding of old patterns and thoughts, and even relationships and particular situations that maybe haven't served us anymore. Or we were really forced to understand that whatever we have created in this very moment for ourselves needs a new way of understanding ourselves within and moving above and see it from a new perspective. Not even changing much in the situation than just our very own perception. And I think the higher view is an incredible card to just speak for this full moon in Aquarius. And let's speak about the full moon energy anyway. I mean, we have the sun in Leo, and we have this moon in Aquarius, and Leo is a very, very shiny and confident and potent and alive sign. And Aquarius is much more dreamy, much more innovative, very visionary, and it's almost like this pull-push between the higher forces and the higher, the higher perception and the higher view of everything that surrounds us to how we embody it in our life, in our being, in our physicality right now. And the third card bringing into the mix today that leads us into a vision into the future is broken open. I'll show you the card. And it's really about healing the heart and breaking, the inner parts in us that have not been yet discovered, and making a real commitment to discover these areas which want to come out and exist and play and be part of a very, very new way of living our lives. I think it's a wonderful time where we all have so much opportunity to shift and shape and reinvent ourselves, our lives, our relationships. I come now to the 3 questions. And the first one I want to really come into is a question I had by someone who is in a very conflicting, troubled relationship, finding herself being very, very engaged in her personal development, being very, very open to discover parts in herself that want to be healed, and really doing her own great personal development, journey. However, being with a long-term partner who is almost, resistant, has given up on being on a journey with her. And yet she loves him, she wants to be with him, and she wants to be in a connection that is meaningful and purposeful, and also has the resonance where both can help each other to heal and to transform their own inner lives and the connection in a deeper way. So the question really I was asked was, is this a reason? Is this a time to consider leaving a relationship? Or is there a strategy? Is there a way to move through that? And years ago, I was in a similar situation in a relationship, and I had to make a very strong call. And I did, that was at the time I actually studied, I did my own self-study to become a love coach. Must have been around 2014, 2015, can't remember, but it was a very particular phase where I had to make an internal commitment, almost like a manifesto to myself, to say, if something that I'm experiencing right now is not serving me in my relationship, how committed am I to just stand my ground and speak openly what I am experiencing, and then give my partner a signal of how I feel, and not giving him a warning, but saying, hey, here I stand right now, and I perceive you're standing here. And whether that is perceived as higher or lower or different values or whatever you call it, if there is no unity and no common sense to speak a common language of love, then it's really important to acknowledge that. But it doesn't mean a relationship needs to end. I think it's really being firm about standing in your own ground as a partner to someone who might not grow in the same way like you do, or maybe develops different values and different ways of coping with life and the circumstances given. However, the big secret is to be incredibly sensitive, perceptive, and aware of the stages in which this relationship evolves. So we have the situation that you might know it's not 100% the way you want it, but at the same time, you give it the time to evolve and to give something to it that can help to find common sense in 1 or 2 areas of the relationship again. It doesn't need to be in every area, but it might be just something you can do together to help, if it's the children, the family, or a particular hobby or a particular interest, or just even being intimate and having a wonderful physical, loving, intimate connection, but very different lives around this intimacy that is accepted as just what it is, all right? So I think the secret is to be very, very careful not to judge too early, and also not wait too long to let something frazzle into a situation that really breaks, everybody's stronger, intention to be in a good relationship apart, so that you really can help to find a new way. And communication is probably the most sacred part of this. And having weekly meetings and exchange meetings and healing meetings and communication meetings as couples, where you just sit and shut everything off and, let everything go around you and really focus for 20 minutes in particular processes. I teach couples and individuals to be very, very discerning and very deep with their expression, and also to learn to listen to the words, the notions, the voices, and the big messages that come from others towards us, and not taking it always personal is another secret in this process. So if there's something in your life you have, you know, to go through right now, where a partner is not 100% on your wavelengths and you still want to stay in relationship, call me up, have a relationship conversation with me. On my homepage, you can absolutely book for a 30 minutes discovery session and book yourself in any time to speak with me about what's going on. And, you know, I'm happy to be here for you to answer these questions that might be really important for you at the moment. The second inquiry I had recently, coming actually from a younger person in her mid-20s, and she said to me, how is it when it's actually a good time to restart looking for a new relationship after a breakup? Let's say you were for a few years in a committed relationship in your earlier years of life, you know, in adolescence years, and then there's a big gap, and suddenly in your mid and 20s you find yourself, hey, you know, actually now I know what I want, now I have a better understanding. Is it a good time? And my answer was very simple, says, you know, don't wait, you know, a too short period to not be healed and transformed and grounded enough to know what you really, really want to do differently next time. But also, don't wait long enough to lose your confidence and your inner awareness of how you operate in relationship with a partner, which is a skill that we can get a little, you know, how can I say, you know, inconfident about. It could be that we are suddenly not really believing anymore that we can help someone being the person he or she wants to be while being in a relationship, because we have been learning so well, you know, making things for our own life happening. So I think really the secret is the middle path, finding that moment, that phase where things become interesting again, but still being very aware that every day counts to evolve ourselves to become better people, better inner, you know, conductors of our own personal life, and all that what we want to create with others and for others in our existence. And the third question that came was in an interview with More FM. I was called up a few weeks ago, and they're regular. Invited to the breakfast show of More FM radio station in New Zealand. And it was a very early morning interview for me. And I was asked where to find, you know, dates in 2022. And I researched that question a little bit because I thought, you know, I mean, I have done so many dating seminars and I give so many tips to people, you know, how to date well, and have often the question, yeah. And usually I shape it very personally, because in different age groups with different personalities, different things work. But there is a particular answer to this question now, which I want to put in a kind of extended video to this recording we are doing right now. So I will give a snapshot answer now, and then we'll finish the Q&A for this wonderful full moon in Aquarius on the 11/12 August 2022. And I will continue recording and make this an extra video available on YouTube, which I call the 3 F's of conscious dating in 2022. And the 3 F words are friendship. The second word is fun. And the third word is a sense of frankness, being very, very fair and frank. Frank is maybe a little bit different to fair. Frankness is really the honesty part, and the fairness is really the awareness that when we are going out and meeting people, we want to have a win-win situation and not creating trauma where trauma is not really, really necessary. The fun bit is pretty easy. Yeah. It's much, much more desire to do activities and being out there than really, really being in a connection that is only based on going out for dinners and drinking lots of alcohol and then ending up in a one-night stand very quickly. I think dating in 2022, particularly on the safety level, to keep it, physically safe with all what we have experienced in the last 2 to 3 years in regards to COVID-19. I think that's a very, very conscious point. And the fun part is really something that has so many aspects. And the friendship part is something I want to talk about in the extended video. So have a look in my YouTube channel, and you will find the link also here in the description box, because I will just say goodbye now. And once again, the 3 cards we have, being given is the storyteller, a higher view for this amazing time, and broken open. So let it happen. Let's be vulnerable. Let's be sensitive to our own inner voices and let things happen and be, coming from inside out, that help us to reshape and reinvent what we really, really are here for on this amazing human journey. I wish you a wonderful month, and look out for more videos. And as I said before, if you wish to have a conversation with me, please, book yourself in for a 30 minutes complimentary discovery love coach session with me. And we can meet on Zoom or on the telephone or even face-to-face if the location is suitable. All right. Wish you all the best, a wonderful month, and thanks with all my heart.